First six, though, were tough, obviously. They weren't as easy. You guys have made the playoffs the last two.
Kelsey Mitchell has finally broken her silence. After months of generic interviews, polished press lines, and endless chatter from media insiders, spinning their own narratives, the veteran heartbeat of the Indiana Fever delivered what fans have been waiting for, a raw and unfiltered truth. She didn't just answer a question. She dropped a truth bomb so powerful that the WNBA is still buzzing, trying to interpret its meaning. Every word she spoke carried weight. Every tone was deliberate. And in that single moment, Mitchell reminded the world that leadership is not always about volume. It's about conviction. What she said wasn't just commentary. It was a statement that could change the trajectory of how we talk about Caitlin Clark, the Fever, and the WNBA itself. Debate now. Was Mitchell simply expressing admiration? Was this the early hint of a professional rivalry? Or was it something far bigger? A brilliantly calculated, brutally honest, and refreshingly real teammate evaluation that set a new standard for authenticity in pro sports? That's the question fans are chewing on today. But before diving into the heart of her words, let's pause to consider something bigger. Do you believe Caitlin Clark has not only transformed women's basketball, but shifted the global perception of the sport itself? Are we witnessing the single most important turning point in modern sports history? Is Caitlin the needle? Let us know down in the comments below. That's the magnitude of the question Mitchell's comments have forced onto the table. And it's why the Fever star's voice carries so much weight. Because here's the truth. Mention the Indiana Fever anywhere, anytime, and you already know what's coming next. The Clark question, it's as inevitable as the sunrise. Doesn't matter if the player is talking about a defensive scheme, their favorite pregame meal, or the weather outside. Eventually, the conversation turns. But what about Caitlin? It has become the unavoidable orbit of Indiana basketball. And this time, the player forced to answer wasn't some role player. It was Kelsey Mitchell. And that matters more than people realize. Mitchell isn't just another name on the roster. She is the franchise's survivor. For years, she was the lone flame flickering in the dark, dragging Indiana through seasons so bleak they were practically unwatchable. This is the same Mitchell who carried a roster that won just 5 games in an entire season. The same Mitchell who endured a revolving door of coaches, 5 and 8 years, while opponents treated games against Indiana as a night off, a chance to pad stats and rest their stars. She was the one who had to shoulder the losses, deliver the polite cliches to the press, and pretend there were building blocks. After another 24-point blowout, that was her reality. She wasn't playing basketball. She was pushing a boulder uphill every night. So when she finally opens up about Caitlin Clark, it's not just lip service. This isn't hollow. She's great. She helps the team. Type of soundbite. Mitchell isn't in the business of rehearsed PR fluff. What she gave us was raw, authentic, and sharpened by years of surviving in the league's basement. And the result? She validated what everyone can see, but few have dared to say out loud. Caitlin Clark hasn't just changed the Fever. She's transformed the entire basketball ecosystem. Mitchell's exact words hit like a tectonic plate shift. She said, Clark has changed the world, changed the dynamic of basketball itself. Let that sink in. That's not a compliment. That's a seismic admission from the one player who could have easily been bitter. The cornerstone of the Fever, the one who fought through irrelevance and pain, looked into the camera and essentially said, without Caitlin, none of this happens. The sellouts, the primetime games, the international coverage, all of it. What makes this even more powerful? The complete absence of jealousy. No bitterness in her voice, no passive-aggressive tone, no hint of resentment, just genuine respect. That's what makes Kelsey Mitchell's words so rare and refreshing. She didn't diminish herself in the process either. This wasn't surrender, this was balance. She reminded everyone, subtly but firmly, that before Caitlin's arrival, she was the one carrying the franchise. She was the one grinding through the worst years, laying the foundation so Clark had a platform to stand on when she arrived. And that is an undeniable truth. Mitchell is the reason the Fever didn't collapse into total irrelevance those many years ago.